What's up, Travian Warriors? I'm Jay, and welcome back to LLT Kingdom, the channel where legends are made. First off, a huge thank you to all of you who supported the first video and provided such valuable feedback. Like, you guys, it's been amazing to see your enthusiasm and suggestions for future content. In our last video, we dove deep into fast settling strategy, showing you how to grab that crucial second village as quickly as possible. Now, if you haven't seen that yet, make sure to check it out, because today we're building on that momentum with a guide on what to do after relocating. Whether you're a king or a governor, you'll learn how to transition into the early game, dominate your surroundings, and set the stage for long-term success. So, let's get into it. There are two main options after relocating. Let's go over each of them. The first option is to demolish the village you relocated to and use those resources to fast build your newly settled village. Here's how you do it. Head to your main building, which should be at level 10, and start demolishing buildings one by one. Make sure to leave the warehouse and granary until the very end. This allows you to raid your own village and gather those resources you got from the demolish feature. Once everything is torn down, you'll be left with just your newly settled village. You'll notice your culture point slot has been granted after demolishing the initial village. This is a strategy commonly used by royals to settle a good MC and build it into a city as soon as possible. So I wouldn't recommend it for governors. Governors might end up outside their kingdom's border and miss out on important tribute from treasures. The second option is to progress naturally, following the quest recommendations. Now, as your village grows, you notice inactive players popping up on the map. These are potential cows. Start by scouting the one closest to you. In the meantime, aim to build up 1000 clubs, which will allow you to use the siege feature, making your attack stronger and minimizing losses. Once you've scouted your potential cows, it's time to set up your farm lists. You'll be able to utilize farm lists through the Travian Plus bundle. Head to the rally point and organize your farm list by distance. Focus on raiding the closest targets consistently. It's far more efficient than raiding those that are farther away. I've already got my list prepared, and now I'm adding the closest targets into my DB farm list. Let's break down the best looting troops for each tribe. For Teutons, clubs are the best choice for infantry raiding. They have a carrying capacity of 60 and a speed of 7. In contrast, Axemen only have a loot capacity of 50 and are slightly slower. For cavalry, paladins are by far the best looting unit for Teutons, with a carrying capacity of 110 and a speed of 10. For golds, while swordsmen are the main infantry unit, I don't recommend them for looting. Instead, TTs is the fastest looting unit in the game with a speed of 19 and can loot 75. For Romans, legios are more resource efficient than Imperians. However, when it comes to cavalry, EIs are one of the best looting units in the game with a speed of 14 and a loot capacity of 100. Every day at midnight, new inactive villages appear on the map, giving you fresh targets to raid. I suggest starting from a corner of the map and scrolling to spot them. Look for messages like "Village was abandoned X minutes ago." If you don't have enough scouts, you can add these villages to your farm list and scout them later. If you do have scouts, send one to each village, and remember to scout defenses, not resources. We need to check the levels of the wall and residence or palace before raiding any village. How did I achieve these results? It's simple, but I have to admit, time consuming. You need to scout each village, assess the report, and plan your next moves. For example, I scouted a Roman village with a level 4 wall. The hero had boots of chicken, meaning the troops would dodge any attack or raid. So I didn't need to worry about the troops, but I still needed to deal with the wall. I'll show you how to use the combat simulator to calculate how many rams I needed to destroy the wall. Early on, you won't have many rams, since they are costly and time consuming to produce. That's why it's essential to be as efficient as possible with them. Send only the necessary number of rams, don't oversend, and focus on clearing villages using the distance-based mechanic. Prioritize the closest targets to maximize your efficiency and minimize travel time. Once I reached 1000 clubs, I started using siege mode to clear robber hideouts. The siege mode requires a minimum of 1000 units along with at least 1 ram. Thanks to all the loot I gathered, I was able to build an early healing tent, which helps me further reduce losses and as a result, allows me to produce even more units. When clearing cows with high residence or palace levels, you need catapults to take them down. Use the combat simulator to minimize your losses. It's all about efficiency, like for example, losing a few clubs is preferable to losing a single ram or a catapult. As you transition from early to mid-game, you'll need to upgrade your stable and keep it constantly producing units for raiding. Build a tournament square as well. This building will make your troops faster beyond the 20 field distance and expand your raiding range significantly. Keep upgrading it as you progress because it will save you a lot of time on long distance raids and as a result allow you to loot more resources. To maintain your raid efficiency, keep a steady flow of raids going. Early on you'll be sending raids every 50 minutes and 45 minutes, but as you progress, you'll start raiding every 20 minutes and 15 and so on. By consistently raiding inactive villages and scouting new targets, you'll keep gathering resources and growing stronger each day. Alright, that wraps up our strategy for transitioning into the mid-game and maximizing your raids. Stay efficient, build up your siege units, and constantly scout for new targets. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's it, warriors. Happy raiding, and as always, salute!
Quack, quack, quack.